Hey everyone, welcome back. As always, I'm Sum.
And I'm Koaty, and this is Koaty Sum, and we are the duo that does more than each other.
All right, and today we're back with season 2, episode 3.
Yeah, we took a little hiatus.
We were really sick.
We were really sick. I still have like a
Residual?
mucusy
talent. Yeah, I think that was probably the worst we've been sick since I think COVID.
Yeah.
Where I couldn't motivate myself to get out of bed. I couldn't work out. I would get up, I would like make myself a sandwich or try to make myself some food, and I would immediately need to lie down.
That's the first time I ever took off an entire week of work, like on sick leave in the 10 years I've been doing my job.
Yeah.
It's the first time I ever had to bring a doctor's excuse to work.
You brought a doctor's excuse?
I guess that 3 days.
I didn't even realize you had to do that.
More than 3 days.
I just thought you called off.
More than 3 days in a row, you need to give one. Well, it was fine because he asked for one, but I was going to the doctor that Friday anyway.
Yeah. I'm sorry, it was my fault. I went to Mexico City, did a collab trip with all these Mexico City boys, and then went straight from there to PV to promote the Trist Hotel and some podcast stuff that was going on, just some men.com and some other work. And then I came back.
And every time you called, you were wasted.
Yeah. Well, not in Mexico City because I was working.
No, PV.
But in PV, PV kind of turned into a party.
Yeah.
I mean, Tristan, who owns the Trist Hotel, he owns Mister.
He owns the Abbey.
He owns the Abbey. He owns Fire Island.
Diaz Tequila.
Is wild.
He owns everything.
So, going there and promoting, and that was also a work trip, but it did turn into us getting drunk a lot. But when I got back, everyone who I was in Mexico City with, all the models and Chris, my manager, they all came back and got so sick. So
and
I don't know.
Then I got sick.
And then you got sick.
And I didn't get to have any of the fun.
I know. So I'm really sorry. Yeah. So I got back, and 2 days later, we were really sick. And this was like our whole March. We were just really sick all of March.
No, it wasn't just, it was sickness. And I was already like, things with my 9-to-5 job have took a turn, and so I was already like feeling down about that, and it just kind of spiraled.
It definitely spiraled
after that, and it was just like a couple of weeks of like sadness and illness, and just
yeah, being able to not get out of bed like that and not move.
Mm-hmm.
I know we watched.
Felt gross. I looked gross. It was just.
We watched we caught up on a lot of shows. We watched like full series, not just seasons, but we watched like full series of shows where we watched multiple seasons of them and finished them because we were just in bed. So
we were very pop culture.
But then we bounced back, and I don't know what else is new with us.
Feeling better than ever. We got our wedding rings. They're so pretty.
Get our wedding rings.
What else? We have our house like in Coachella, so it's the first time we like had guests staying during Coachella. So we just kind of went through that.
Yeah, I was excited about that.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, we did buy a second investment property in the Coachella Valley in Indio. It's across the street from the Empire Polo Grounds where Coachella Festival and Stagecoach and other things are held. And, got it on Airbnb like beginning of January. So, Coachella month was going to be the month where we were like, all right, was this a good investment or not?
Yeah.
But you can actually walk out of our house and you go down the block and exit the gated community, and across the street is the Coachella Festival ground. So it's the closest complex to the ground. You do not have to drive anywhere. And now Stagecoach, both weekends have happened, Coachella, both weekends have happened, and Stagecoach have happened, and every guest was so happy with their stay. So I'm like, good. We did it.
Yeah, now we're just getting ready for, we are nominated for some awards at the International Content Creator Awards, and that's going to be in PV in May. So we're going to go there for that and also do a collab house. So, we have a lot of work coming up there. We are nominated for favorite podcast. So, just after our first season. So that was cool.
Yeah. So if you're watching this, we'll put the link below or in the description. So if you can go vote, definitely go vote.
Voting's over.
Is voting over?
Yeah.
Never mind.
Voting is over.
You lagged and took too long, and now we're screwed, guys. Thanks.
We have our DP molded dildos coming out soon.
That's what I wanted to say.
We just got a photo of, 4 different sizes. The last one looks like as big as my arm.
He sent a picture, and they were all next to a Sprite can or whatever.
Yeah.
And even the smallest size looks like it's like,
I think
whoa.
the smallest one is like our actual size.
Smallest ones are actual size.
And then they made like a large, extra large, extra large.
So the proportions are all there, but there is
Yeah.
multiple sizes of it. I guess I didn't understand that when they told us. I
It's
was
like-
like, why are you making it not the size we are? He's like, no, we'll have that, but then people just want to buy bigger.
It's like your dick, and then it's like my dick like wraps around it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool.
I mean, I'm going to use it. I'm going to try. I'm going
don't-
to try to use it.
I'll try. I don't know.
I don't
pretty-
know.
Just normal size is pretty big. In my
I'm going
opinion.
to try the largest size.
That largest one is like bigger than like getting fisted.
You know, that'd be kinky. That'd
That's
be kinky.
huge.
Also, speaking of kinky, that is our topic today. We wanted to talk about kinks and just how our desires have changed as we've gotten older and what turns us on and kind of what we consider kinky these days. And then so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about, kind of reflect on, you know, what we thought was kinky in our 20s and in our 30s now. And then we're going to play a couple games. We're going to have a game where Koaty's going to guess based off the name of a kink, like what it actually is. And then by the end of the show, we are going to find out how kinky we really are. I mean, because at the end of the day, I feel like no matter what, we've tried a few things, but I still feel like we're kind of vanilla.
Honestly, I feel like the things I thought were like so radical kinky years ago are so vanilla, and now I'm just like constantly hearing new things, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm vanilla.
Yeah, but we have tried some stuff, but I
will
still
try
feel
it
like
if
we're-
it's within reason.
yeah.
You know,
Well, everyone has their limits, and that's why
Yeah.
they're called kinks. But I don't know. I just I can't help but feeling like we're kind of vanilla. But you know, we're gonna I'm gonna quiz Koaty by the end of
but
the.
it's because I like more like passionate love making sex, not the like rough like slap me around. And I feel
Yeah.
like kinky stuff like kind of gets more like that.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, stay tuned for the end when I'm gonna ask Koaty a series of questions, and we're gonna find out just how kinky he really is these days.
All right, I'm excited to learn because I
All
already
right.
have an idea.
So, just kind of talking about kinks, I think that they, like you said, they have evolved, and I feel like, you know, with the rise of social media and all these, you know, people posting stories and educational stuff, like I've discovered things so much faster than I ever thought. I feel like certain things maybe used to be more underground and only people
Yeah.
in those communities would kind of know what they were.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What do you think on that?
Like what? Like the newer ones that I've heard, or is it just talking about like how they're more visible?
Yeah, do you think they're just more visible? Like I feel like it's not so much that they
They're definitely more visible, but are they more visible because we're in that industry now? You know what I mean? Like I would like to ask someone that question who's not in our
True.
industry.
true.
But you know, I feel like a lot of things are more visible because of the internet. So like, I mean, basic answer, yeah, they're definitely
Yeah.
more visible. Like I didn't realize how many, I don't really like feet. I didn't realize how, like, I feel like feet is like the biggest kink. Like that's the most popular in my opinion.
Yeah, so let's start there. I feel like feet is the one that I think when you say, oh, kinky, people are like, oh, foot fetish. Or you think
Yeah.
fetish, people think foot fetish. And I know for you, you really don't care for feet.
I will say
Have you
I do
ever
have nice feet.
have you ever licked a foot other than mine? I know you've licked mine, I think maybe once.
I mean, I'm sure I have.
But not that you remember.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like I'm not, ew, no, get that away. But it's not, I don't
Kinda.
seek it out. If I can ignore it or, you know, avoid it,
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
I will. But, you know, it's, you know, everything has its price.
What was something you thought like in your 20s that was super kinky that you actually just kind of do normally now? Do you have anything?
You're going to laugh.
No, I'm here to.
I mean,
we listen
that-
and we don't judge.
I mean, don't you remember when we started dating and you like eat my ass? I was like, oh, wow. Like, no, I don't think, I was just like such a baby gay in like rural Pennsylvania. Like, I didn't realize.
is that a kink? Is eating
Well,
ass a
I
kink?
thought it was then.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
you thought it was a
Yeah,
kink. Oh,
that
in
was
your
the
20s.
question.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
But, like,
Okay, all right.
it's
all right.
not.
No, I
No.
mean, I wouldn't.
That's
no.
that's just like having sex. Like that's just
Yeah.
part of it.
Yeah,
know?
when I think about
I
it,
didn't learn that until I was like 30. You know.
yeah. That's so funny. Yeah, I guess that's true because you didn't really do it.
I feel like before you, like 1 or 2 people ate my ass.
What tops were you hooking up with?
I don't know.
You were hooking up with some boring people.
I was like hooking up and dating with people who were like as new as me.
Yeah.
So we're just 2 blind mice running around, not knowing what the hell's going on.
I think in our 20s or when we're coming out and we're kind of exploring, you know, everyone's like, oh, have sex, but it's more about what is considered socially like acceptable or hot or like mainstream, like what you see in the movies.
Yeah.
Rather than exploring what you actually enjoy. And I feel like that's what my 20s was. It was just like a matter of like getting drunk at the bar, finding a guy I thought was cute, and it's just like, we're going to do oral and we're going to have sex. And that was it. There was no exploration. There was no kind of being in touch with my body of what actually can turn me on.
I think with me, with this sort of stuff, is just like, I love the penetration part so much more than everything else.
Yeah.
That it's like, you know, I skip it.
Yeah.
But
well, and
I feel like I am at a time where I am trying to be a little more adventurous, or I want to be. The desire is there.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, I think it's evolved, and we've explored some things as a couple, and we've explored some things as an OnlyFans couple.
When you tied me up, and then as soon as you tied me up, I got super hard, and I was like, "Oh wow, I didn't realize I was into this." You know? Yeah.
I think
tying up, that's kink. That's a kink.
Right? No, that's a total kink. Oh, okay. I forgot to bring the ropes.
Oh, it's fine.
Oh my God! Speaking of that. If you've seen that video, we need to do it again because if you've seen that video, I literally we didn't have any rope, so I tied bandanas together and then tied bandanas to the bedpost. It looks so janky.
They also like came undone during.
They came undone during, but we didn't see that part. Yeah. But I have bought some rope recently. And
we still have the bed thing from House of Heat.
We do have the House of Heat. Speaking of House of Heat, we're wearing our robes that we got on House of Heat.
I bought everyone these.
We did a little photo shoot. We bought everyone robes with our names on it. So we thought we'd rock them today.
Rocking the robes.
Oh my God, that's so funny. What was I gonna say? I think that I've been just more so even in the last couple years, finally exploring and admitting to myself like things that I like that I maybe didn't want to admit before. I think that with kinks, there sometimes can be a lot of shame around it, like feeling like you're wrong for liking that because it's not considered normal. And
well, I think that is, I try to catch myself because whoever does whatever, like totally for it. But when people say it, I'm like, ooh or ow, because as soon as I say it, I think about it being done to me. And if it's not something I would like, that's why I'm reacting that way, not me judging somebody.
Yeah.
But, it still doesn't look the best. Yeah.
Well, and prefacing this video for anyone listening so far, we are not here to kink shame unless being shamed is your kink.
We're here to share knowledge.
But if we react at any point in this video while we're talking about kinks in a way that feels like, oh no, not for me, like that is not a judgment. We are just, I'm all for get off how you want to get off. But if it's not for me, it's not for me. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. And kink is a lot of it's all about consent, anyways.
Yeah.
But I guess maybe more so for me than you, it sounds like I've really kind of been exploring certain things that I didn't realize that I enjoyed. Okay, wait. One thing I want to talk about, armpits. When did armpits become so freaking fascinating?
Yeah, I mean, remember we did years ago we did some like armpit TikToks and they did really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it's always like growing up when people are like, oh, what body part are you into?
And we've had some armpit customs.
Right.
Like
recently.
A few. Yeah.
But like when I ask people like online, like, oh, what are you into? What turns you on? What's your favorite body part about a guy? Everyone's always like, oh, the ass, oh, the chest.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like armpits are kind of on the rise. And I feel like I've been sniffing your armpit more. And then we were out last weekend and I think I sniffed like 3 guys' armpits.
I'm very affected by smells.
I know, but there's something about a musky scent. Like armpits. That's just what I mean. Like I feel like in my 20s, it's not something I ever would have thought about. And in my 30s, just maybe in the last year, I'm like, oh, let me sniff that armpit for you. Let me just get up in there and just.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah. I mean, that's out of all the like kinks that people ask for. You know, we've had feet stuff, we've had armpit stuff, we've had lingerie. Is that a kink?
Lingerie is a kink. Yeah. All of that.
We have. I don't know if it's one person or a couple people. Like when we are in leather jackets.
Yeah. Well, people like leather.
Yeah. So leather. Yeah, I guess leather. I guess it's leather in general.
Mm-hmm.
It's a kind of kinky thing.
Yeah. Is there any like point where you've had to like where you like any part about what you like sexually that you, other than of course we all go through the coming out process and feeling shame on that, but like as far as kinks go or what you would consider a kink, was there any shame behind any kink act that you had to kind of talk yourself through, that you worked through?
A kink act. I don't.
But that you felt shame around, like the being tied up, you know, you didn't even know you liked that, but not that you felt shame around it. But
no, I didn't feel shame. I don't think so. I mean, I don't think I've done enough. I don't think I've done enough experimenting to have reached that point.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
Yeah. I mean, I think that
I remember when you fisted that guy in Miami.
I did feel shame around that. I had been wanting to do that for a while. But I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to do it because I thought I was going to like it. I just wanted to do it for the experience. And
you're like, "Oh my God, Koaty.
I can feel his heartbeat."
I was like,
yeah,
stand over here.
It was more educational. Like the guy was like, I said, I've been wanting to try fisting someone. I know I don't want to get fisted.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm really into fisting. And we were already vibing with him and his partner. He's like, you can fist me tonight. I was like, okay. And then we were going at it, and then he brought it up to do it, but it was literally more like he was guiding me through it. It was more of an educational experience rather than either of us really just like being passionate and like doing a sex act. I don't know. It felt more educational, but no shame around any of that. I don't know. Let's dive into that a little bit later. One of the next segments that I want to go into is I wanted to compare what is the kinkiest thing you've ever done outside of me and outside of like OF.
I don't even really know. It's such a long span of time to remember.
Mm-hmm. You need a second.
Kinky. Yeah, tell me yours while I'm thinking.
You want to know mine?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm gonna get. Oh, you're gonna give me. I haven't even told you this before, I think.
Oh my.
Okay. The kinkiest thing I've ever done is I have been pissed on.
Oh. Okay.
I think that's the kinkiest thing I've ever done.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever told you that.
All right.
And I kind of enjoyed it when it happened. Not that I'm saying I want to do it again or repeatedly or whatever, but it was drunk. I was drunk. I was with an ex, and it just like happened in the moment. Like we were just like in that moment, and he just was like being a little derogatory and did it and peed on me. And I have to say, just looking back, I think that when you were asking about shame, that's why I wanted to wait to bring that up, because I did feel a lot of shame around that for a while, and I didn't really tell anyone, and I haven't really told anyone, because I didn't want it to. I don't know what I wanted, but in the moment, it felt right. It felt like a form of intimacy with that person and the experience, and I explored it, and it's not something I really care to do. Like I've actually never thought about doing it with you. It's just not a thing I've thought about, but it's something that did happen that I did feel shame around, that I had to kind of talk myself through, or I don't even know if I have talked myself through it.
I mean, it's not a habit. Like, I feel like that's such a frequent one that people don't talk about, but it's very like common.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and maybe to some people it's not that kinky, and to other people
Yeah.
it's like absolutely off the walls. But
Yeah.
I mean, we did watch someone get peed on House of Heat.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Um.
I mean, he did it right where he drank like 30 bottles of water. So when he peed on her, it probably was just clear and like didn't stink and like, you know what I mean?
But that was all like the thing with that, like that was performative.
Yeah.
Like they were filming a scene. It was a setup. Like it was like, ooh, this guy comes and like competes on me. You know, like mine was like in the moment.
The only thing I can think of, you know, outside of you and like OnlyFans, which maybe,
Don't judge me for that.
which
okay?
maybe is, which
I'm
maybe is even a little shameful, maybe why I never taught it. I went through a phase where I liked shoving household products up my butt.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think you've ever told me that.
Like a handle of a comb or like a wine bottle or, you know.
A wine bottle?
Yeah. Well, like,
That's
not
thick.
the whole thing. Like the,
Just the top part.
yeah, until
gonna
it's
say.
like,
You don't barely
No.
let me. You don't barely
Yeah.
let me get 2
No,
fingers
no,
up
no.
there.
what else did I use?
Wait, when was this?
Toothbrush.
I feel like a toothbrush is pretty common. It's just easy. Wait, but
Yeah.
when was this?
This was
Your 20s?
I probably was like 27.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right after the breakup.
But they're all my items. They weren't like roommates or something.
I would hope so. If they were your exes, I'd be like, yeah, go for it.
I feel like I was. It started initially because I was too scared to buy a dildo, so I just found things that looked like dildos. But then I liked doing it. I don't know, but I haven't done it in a really long time.
Yeah.
It was only
Well,
like,
once you
it was only like a months. I did it, but yeah,
then you finally bought a dildo, or
yeah, I think so.
the first time I bought a dildo, I was with Audie, and I was trying to in my mind like, oh, I'm not good at bottoming, that's why I don't bottom very much. Let me go get a dildo, and I don't know why I bought the fucking biggest dildo I could find.
It's the one that
It's
we
the one
have
in the
still.
drawer that I
Yeah.
still can
It's huge.
hardly use.
I'm
like,
used it.
why? And I feel like that scared me more about bottoming
Yeah.
because I bought the biggest dildo.
The thing that's funny about me not being scared to buy a dildo is that in college, my girlfriend, her dad paid her credit card, so she wanted to buy a dildo for herself, but she didn't want to put it on her credit card because her dad paid for it, would see it.
Fair.
So I went and bought it for her, and she paid me back. Like, why was I not scared to do it then? But years later, I couldn't go buy my own dildo. So I don't know. It's just confusing.
I mean, but you weren't out at that time, so
No,
it's,
I was.
oh, you were out.
I was out.
Okay.
Yeah, I was out.
I mean, I feel like it's always different when you even now when I go into a sex store, as sex positive as I am, it just feels like you're just being watched,
Yeah.
like based off like what you're looking at, what you want to buy. But the people at sex shops are so sex positive and open and friendly. But I don't know, it's just it's the culture and society we grew up in that we just sometimes you just feel a little weird about buying it for yourself.
I mean, would you consider like I know we do a lot of the men into the suits stuff, but like I do that because I actually like that. Is that a kink? Like,
I think it's a kink. I think that anything with dress up or role play would be
Okay.
considered a kink. So
that makes sense.
we're wearing suits, like it's not bondage or leather or whatever, but
Yeah.
it's still an outfit and attire, a look. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of the most common ones I see lately that's really on the rise is the pup play stuff and those popping up at prides.
So the pup masks and the
Pup
like,
masks.
yeah, they're like on leashes and stuff.
I did it one time. At San Francisco Folsom Street Fair.
You put a pup mask on?
No, I didn't put a pup mask on, but I went. There was a puppy playpen, so a section where they like have like a little doggy pen, but it's puppies in there, grown men.
Yeah.
And you get in there, and you're just supposed to act like a puppy. And I didn't go in with a mask. There are people in there with masks. There are people that were not in masks, but they let me go in. They let me, Ashley Ryan. I probably shouldn't say
Yeah.
that. And a couple other people, we got in and we just like started like rolling around. Like we played fetch and like, some of them, we didn't have a master, of course, because it's not our fetish.
Yeah.
But like the other puppies in there had masters. And so like they would like let us come up and we like, and we were in there for like a couple minutes. We were, we were drunk. We weren't making fun of it. Like we were just embracing the experience of like, let us just dive in, like, and just have a little, like, let loose a little bit. We had fun with it. It was not to make fun of that culture at all. That was fun. That was a while ago. That was like 10 years ago. Okay, so should we go into our first game, which is where Koaty is going to guess based off the name what a kink is.
Oh
Let's
boy.
do it. Okay.
We did this before with like crazy sex positions with weird names. Remember?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
We like ones that were like we didn't.
These are
really
just
know.
like common fetishes or
Okay.
kinks, though. So, okay. So number 1, splashing. What do you think that is?
Is that like fucking somebody with like douche water in their ass?
Is that a kink?
I don't know. That's what it sounds
That
like.
probably is a kink. No. Splashing is food play. So getting messy with whipped cream, syrup,
Oh.
mashed
That's
potatoes.
not what I thought that would
Mashed
be.
potatoes, your
I
favorite.
do love mashed potatoes. But
Um.
in my mouth.
So would try or no?
It would depend on the food.
Okay. Whipped cream. I'm
Whipped
asking for tonight.
Whipped cream, yeah, like sweets.
Okay, I'm gonna go get a bunch of sweets.
Sweets would be
and pour
good.
them all over your body tonight. Okay, let's see. Next one is objectophilia.
Objectophilia. Is this like what I was doing, putting objects inside yourself?
It does sound like that, right? Where
Yeah.
you stick shit up your ass. No, it's being sexually or romantically attracted to inanimate objects.
Like when people married that woman married that fence or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you've moaned over a Dyson, but you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Queening.
Queening. That would be. It's something like something to do with sitting on a throne. I don't know.
You're in the right direction. Yeah.
Um.
So it is when you sit on a partner's face,
Okay.
orally, usually with dominance.
Damn,
That's
I'm
what
close.
that's what I tell you to do all the
That
time.
was close.
But you sit on with dominance, so it's like you take control and you sit on the face and you're like, yeah,
Oh.
you know.
Okay.
Okay. Do that to me tonight. All right. So the next one is fornophilia.
Fornophilia.
Take a guess.
Being attracted to foreigners.
Yes. No, it's not.
That's a good guess.
I know. So it is the love of furniture. So
Isn't that a furniture an object?
no, so this is where a person turns into furniture. So like, have you seen where, especially with like a dom sub, where someone acts as like an ottoman, so they get on all fours and they sit on the chair and they use the person as an ottoman and
So
put their feet on them.
This is about the person that is the furniture, the person
Yeah.
that likes when people are furniture.
It's person turning into furniture, like
Okay.
using them as a chair, table, lamp. I guess it would be both, whether you're the sub or the dom.
Wow, I'm not good at any of these.
Yeah.
See how vanilla I am.
Yeah. Cuckolding. You know what this one is.
Oh, it's when you're like being a dom over somebody.
No,
Right?
you know this one. We love this. It's when you enjoy someone and when you enjoy watching your partner get railed by someone else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's not what I thought it was.
But this one, it's not like how with us, it's more like
So when someone says you're a cuck, it means you like to watch.
yeah, but it also, from my understanding, like with us, when we are watching, like if I watch you, I'm like involved in some way. Like maybe I'm just like participating, or I take a step back and watch, or vice versa. A cuck a lot of times is like,
Just
I know a lot of times they're told to sit in the corner, and they act like they're not there, so they're like
Okay.
just like looking in. And you guys can correct me as audience if I'm wrong, but it's almost like they're not supposed to even they're ignored.
It's like they're watching it through a TV almost.
Yeah, like they're watching it through a TV. It's just
Okay.
like and I think and so like when they're like, that's why sometimes people are like, oh, you're a cuck. Like
Okay.
you just want to sit there and watch. Like you're not involved.
Yeah.
Something like that a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Now I know.
That's for my understanding.
'Cause people
Okay.
say that word around me a lot.
Yeah. Ballooning.
I mean, is that putting balloons up your ass?
Probably is part of it. It's a fetish involving balloons. This one was new to me. Popping them, rubbing on them, sitting on them, the sound, the tension, the anticipation.
I think everything has to deal with shoving it up your
Your ass. That's because you're a bottom. Would you try that?
I mean, rubbing against balloons
Yeah.
and playing with.
I just don't think it would do anything for me. I love
mean,
balloons. I love blowing up
This
balloons.
is in the category of I would try it. I don't understand it, but I guess
I mean, but I've already blown up balloons and rubbed on them, and it's never been sexual.
Be all staticky.
I've sat on a balloon just because I want to pop it because I like the popping sound.
We'll be all staticky and we'll be shocking each other.
Yeah. Okay, one more. Let's say what is this one? It is clismophilia.
Being aroused when you're up high.
No, it is arousal from enemas. I don't know. I've never heard of that.
Like when you're douching?
Yeah, maybe it's it's
I
arousal.
would say sometimes when I do
you get hard?
I get like a semi.
You get a little semi?
Yeah.
Like, ooh,
Not always, but sometimes.
It tickles your insides.
Yeah, I mean, shoving some up your ass.
You feel a little water coming out.
You know, I like the bottom, so.
Yeah. Ooh, my booty hole go boop.
I mean, I shoved other things up there.
You did. All right. So you got none of them right.
I almost got queening.
You got none of them right. So that was game number 1. Okay. Well, we're approaching the end. So let's find out how kinky Koaty really is in a segment that I like to call Would You Try or Would You Enjoy This? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to describe 20 scenarios, real quick scenarios, and you're going to rate on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being that you would absolutely love to try this, 1 being that you would never do that, no way, not for you, absolutely not.
Okay.
And then at the end, we're going to add them all up. So on your phone, take notes of what you put for each one, and then we're going to add them up, and we're going to score you.
I'll just put the calculator
Yeah,
up.
just put the calculator up.
Okay.
Okay. This is going to be like kind of rapid fire.
Yeah.
So just like first number that comes to mind. 1 being absolutely not. 10 being, yes, I'd love to do that.
I don't see any 10s happening.
Okay. So 1, wearing a discreet plug in public for hours.
7.
Okay. Letting a dominant pick your outfits and underwear for a week.
7.
Getting blindfolded and tied up and no idea what's coming next.
9.
All right. Taking notes. Worshipping someone's feet while they ignore you.
1.
Being part of a threesome with a much older dom.
5.
Oh, okay. Role playing as a naive newbie being trained.
3.
Sleeping in a cage overnight during a kink weekend.
1.
Okay. Only being allowed to speak when spoken to for 24 hours.
1.
Getting teased to the edge but not allowed to come for a full day.
6.
Being filmed while getting used by a small group with consent. So basically like a gang, kind of like you're the bottom.
8.
Okay. Being walked on a leash at a private party.
1.
Obeying orders via text from a dom for an entire day, wherever you are.
3.
Giving up orgasm control for a full week.
2.
Getting fisted while restrained and praised.
1.
Tied up and forced to watch me hook up with someone else.
3.
Oh, you want to be involved. Having to clean a dom's gear or boots naked on your knees.
1.
Being a couple's play toy for the night.
9.
Okay. Getting spanked in front of a mirror until you're moaning.
5.
Trying a sensory deprivation hood and full body bondage. That's like the latex, like where you lay there and suck out all the air.
Yeah, 2.
Okay. Wearing something femme, lace, heels, or lingerie for a dominant partner's pleasure. Like if I wanted you to.
3.
Okay. All right.
Is that it?
Yeah. Add them all up.
78.
This makes sense. You got a 78.
What is it?
You scored power bottom in theory, pillow princess in practice.
That's so true.
All right. So it turns out that Koaty
That is true.
is not very kinky.
No.
Koaty's not very kinky.
Hey, at least I didn't get the lowest.
You didn't get to the lowest. It says the lowest is, sweetie, that's just cuddling.
Sweet.
Oh my gosh.
I am completely fine with that answer.
Yeah. All right. Well, actually, one more thing I wanted to talk about, if we have time, was we did ask some listeners to share some of their kink shaming and kink stories.
Yeah, I didn't get to see any of these.
Yeah. Do you want to? I wrote them all down. Do you want to read them?
All of them.
So we asked our listeners. You'd be surprised. Like, this is where I was so.
Okay, so I'll read. So this one says, I agreed to be part of a car wash fantasy, and it got slippery. This guy had a whole thing about being washed like a dirty car. So I wore short shorts, got a bucket, and used a sponge on him while he moaned, "Clean me, daddy."
That's it. Yeah, yeah.
Then he turned the hose on me and made me soap myself while he revved his actual car nearby. We got hosed down by a neighbor. He still texted me after, next time waxing.
Wait, there was one.
This one or no?
Someone did write in that they cross-dress for straight men a lot, but they didn't send a story behind it. This one about the furniture.
My girlfriend was dated a guy who liked to dress in a maid costume for her.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Little like reverse
but
role
he was
play.
Straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, read that one. Read that one.
He had a fantasy about being my sentient furniture.
No, not that one. This one.
Oh, we had a regular. This one.
Yeah. This is about.
We had a regular hookup thing going on, but one day he asked to try something different. He wanted to be my ottoman. I came over and he was fully naked, crouched on all fours with a pillow on his back. He didn't move. I put my feet up. He whispered, "Thank you for using me." I sat there scrolling Instagram for 45 minutes. 10 out of 10, weirdly relaxing.
Keep going.
I told her I like.
Oh yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I confused him a little bit. So that was the one about fantasy and furniture.
Yeah.
And then this one is about. Okay, now read this one. This one's about dick humiliation.
I told her I liked being humiliated for my size. She smiled too calmly and said, "Okay, but if we do this, we do it my way." 10 minutes later, I was completely naked, locked in a metal dog crate in her bedroom. She taped a note to the front that said, "Not suitable for satisfaction, display only." Then she invited 2 friends over without telling me. They walked in, laughed, and she casually said, "Oh, don't mind him. That's just my pocket mistake." I was hard, so hard it hurt. But the mix of shame and panic was real. When I begged to get out, she leaned down and said, "Toys don't get to speak." I eventually safe-worded and she let me out, but she just handed me my clothes and said, "Maybe next time you ask for a little less." I still jerk off to it sometimes, but I'd never ever do it again.
That one was wild to me.
Wow.
That one was wild. Like, I don't know. The dick humiliation thing is so, I don't know what that would feel like because I don't have a small dick. But there are people that really, really get off on dick humiliation and being told that they have a small dick.
Yeah, that's cool.
But that's like scary. Like, he got put in a cage. Like, random people came over that he didn't know or know were going to be there. I mean, they had a safe word, of course, and that's a big thing with kinks is having a safe word.
Yeah.
And she let him out, but I don't know. It sounds like that one to me was more like shocking, a little scary. And I think sometimes kinks teeter the line of, is it fun? Is it dangerous? And that's where people kind of live on the edge, and good for them.
Yeah, I don't like to be scared.
I mean, you like to be tied up.
Yeah, but that's not scary.
Well, it's everyone's definition of scary is different.
Yeah.
So, and these were some. We asked some listeners to say some times that they have been kink shamed, and so I got a couple responses via Instagram that I thought were interesting, because we all know that kink shaming still happens, and I think with kinks, it's all about like communication. Like, even if with your partner, if you're trying to communicate that you are into something that you don't know if they will appreciate or that is considered kinky.
Yeah.
I think all you can do, and I know you've always done it for me, and I would always do it for you, like just listening with open ears, like no judgment, just, you're putting yourself in a vulnerable spot to just say something that you like that may not be considered normal.
But it's also when you are together as long as we are, and also, work in the sex industry, like it's sometimes fun to learn new things about yourself because it, lights a new flame. It's, I don't know. It's kind of how I look at it.
Well, this first one said, I told a guy I liked being called a good boy, and he rolled his eyes and said, grow up. I've never asked for it again.
Ooh, well, that's something I learned that I did like.
Yeah, and that's something that I've also
I didn't think
learned.
I never thought I would, but then someone did it once, and I was like, oh, okay.
It was me.
Yeah. Well, no, it was like that guy in Miami.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've gotten really into calling people a good boy.
Oh, we were kinky in Miami.
Yeah. I've let someone call me a good boy, but I think for the most
guy
part,
in Miami.
Yeah, but I've called you a good boy a couple times. So, I'm reading that
I
one.
am a good boy.
That one, you are. Reading that though, I felt like sad. I was like, oh, that's so
sad.
mild. Like it's just, you're just asking to be kind of called something. I don't know. To
How's that any different than being called like babe or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think that's any different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I realize I'm finally also at that age where if you call me daddy's a state of mind. It's not going to make me feel old. Like it's right person, right time. I don't need to be called daddy every time in the bedroom, but you can call me daddy. You can call me good boy. It just depends on who I'm with.
But if you call me daddy, you need to look significantly younger than me, or I'm not going to enjoy it.
Yeah. That's fair. Like, or smaller than you. Like where you also you need to be put in that dominant role. I think it's a state of mind rather than an age thing. Okay, so next one. I said I liked being spat on during sex, and my boyfriend said that's disgusting, and I never felt smaller. So you know what?
I mean, I don't want to do that, but that's not how you respond.
Yeah.
To that.
That's actually one of my number one go-to no's when I'm doing a studio scene, when they say, what are you not comfortable with? I would just say no spitting in my mouth. I don't like that.
It's not the actual act or the spit. It's like that sort of stuff makes me gag. So I know if someone would do it, I would be like, which is hot.
Yeah, but I would never, when someone has asked me to spit on them, even though it's not really my thing, I'll do it because I want to.
Yeah, I'll spit on someone.
Yeah, I just don't want to get spat on. Like if someone said they want to spit on me, I would have to say no. I just don't like being spat on in my mouth.
I'd pee on someone, but I don't want to be peed on.
Yeah, it's interesting. There are certain things that the kink itself, you would do it to someone.
Yeah,
but I don't want it done to me.
Like you fisted someone, would you get fisted?
No.
Yeah,
but I would fist someone. Like and I have. But like I would do it again. There are things that I would do in the dominant role rather than the submissive role.
Just not to me.
Just not to you. But again, this goes back to if someone, especially your partner, is like communicating something that they enjoy, there's no need to be harsh about it. That's all. We listen and we don't judge. Okay, let's do one more. Someone said, I admitted I wanted to be called a slut in bed, and he said, no way, you're too sweet for that. And that one's, not traumatizing, but I think that
not traumatizing, but sometimes, people who are looked at as like too good, too sweet, they want to feel sexy, and that was probably the way that person would have felt sexy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think these people that are sweet, they want to feel naughty, they want to feel bad. Let them feel bad. Call them a dirty little slut. Let her call you daddy. Yeah. Get it. Get a little freaky in the bedroom.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But the one
kink that we haven't talked to, these are all mine.
Which I didn't realize was a kink. The fur monsters or fur people.
Oh, the fuzzies?
Yeah, is that what they're called?
Yeah, that's a kink.
So like, they like fuck with these things on?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just like how we did the cosplay.
Okay.
It's like the same.
I didn't realize it had its own like name and stuff.
Yeah, the fuzzies. And I mean, cosplay I think can be a kink. I mean, we have our Halloween video where I was Ryan Deadpool and you
were Ryan Reynolds.
I was Ryan Reynolds.
And I was Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, the ultimate power couple. So that was kinky. That was a kink because we were role playing.
Yeah,
a little bit.
So. No, I like role playing and with certain genres.
Yeah.
You know, love a good superhero moment for sure.
Well, it's been decided. Koaty's not kinky, but we're gonna go tie him up in the other bedroom because he's been dying for that to happen.
There were some 9s in there, so there were some kinks in there.
There were, yeah.
You know,
Yeah. There were also a lot more ones.
There were just some that were. There were just some that are definitely not, but there were some that you know.
You shut him down. You wouldn't even try him.
I just know who I am.
You know who you are.
Yeah. So.
Well, thanks for joining us on episode 3 of In Bed with Koaty and Sum, and let us know if we're vanilla or not.
Yeah.
All right.
And keep a lookout for our dildos.
Yes. All right. Bye.
Bye.